F-35, Su-57, or AMCA, which fifth-generation fighter aircraft will help India fly higher better. India's need for a fifth-generation fighter aircraft has sparked ongoing speculation for several months as the nation weighs its options amid a complex geopolitical landscape. With its indigenous advanced medium combat aircraft AMCA still years away from operational readiness, expectations are turning toward potential acquisitions from foreign manufacturers. Only two viable contenders are practically available: the American F-35 Lightning II and Russia's Su-57 Felon. Yet, despite the buzz, neither the Indian government nor defense analysts have signaled a clear preference, leaving the future of this critical procurement uncertain. Given recent developments in trade between India and the US, reports suggest India has conveyed decision on the F-35 to the US. However, Minister of State for External Affairs, Kirtivardhan Singh, recently clarified in Parliament that no formal discussions have been held as yet on this issue concerning the F-35. He referred to the India-US joint statement from February 2025, following Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with President Trump, in which the US agreed to undertake a review of its policy on releasing fifth-generation fighters such as the F-35 and undersea systems to India. However, this was only a policy review, and no proposal or negotiation has been initiated between the two nations. The offer from the United States to potentially supply F-35 fifth-generation stealth fighters has been a headline-grabbing development since its inception, but an analysis of India's defense ecosystem, technical realities, and indigenous ambitions shows why this deal is unlikely to materialize soon. Speaking on the current scenario, Dinkar Perry, Fellow, Security Studies at Carnegie, India says, while the lack of a fifth-generation fighter jet is going to be a glaring gap in the IAF for the near term, the choice of importing a FGFA in small numbers is a hard one to make. The indigenous AMCA is just taking off in development terms and is about a decade away. Another interim buy may take resources and time away from the crucial program. NAN. The Indian Air Force currently operates a variety of fighter jets, including the Russian-origin Su-30 MKI, French Rafale, indigenous Tejas, Mirage 2000, and Jaguar. Over the past few years, India has created an ecosystem supporting these fighters, with advantages in desired integration, interoperability, availability of expert crew, and maintenance facilities. When selecting an aircraft, it's not just about acquiring a platform that can fly. You must consider its compatibility with your operational needs, whether it can integrate with existing systems, communicate effectively with other platforms, and support your current weapons and infrastructure. The F-35 introduces a completely new ecosystem with predominantly American systems, which may limit flexibility and pose challenges for existing systems, said a senior Indian Air Force fighter pilot, speaking on condition of anonymity. Dinkar Perry says, the F-35 is the cutting edge of stealth and military aviation. However, that necessarily doesn't mean it is the best bet for India for a variety of reasons. India doesn't have the US fighter ecosystem, and going through the curve will be a long curve. A more pertinent aspect is how much the US wants the F-35 to be integrated into India's military ecosystem, which has high-end Russian systems like Su-30 MKIs, S-400 air defense systems, in addition to French and Israeli system among others. Without seamless integration, the F-35 cannot become an effective platform that it's envisaged to be, nor can the aircraft itself be fully exploited to its full potential, he added. NAN and many consider the Russian Su-57 a viable option given the circumstances surrounding the F-35. However, this option comes with its own challenges. Along with the fear of sanctions and political pressure, there are sufficient reasons to believe that deliveries will be delayed, and the jet may not fully serve its intended purpose. While the Su-57 offers benefits like technology transfer and easier integration given India's existing Russian aircraft ecosystem, its issues delayed production, sanctions risks, past technological concerns, payment hurdles, and alignment complexities bring challenges. NAN following Defense Minister Rajnath Singh's approval, public and private sector companies can collaborate to execute India's Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft AMCA program. While development is progressing rapidly, The prototype is not expected before 200 and 2728. DRDO officials have indicated that the aircraft's induction will likely occur no earlier than 2036. This timeline exacerbates the existing shortage of fighter jets in the Indian Air Force. Consequently, experts suggest inducting 4th generation plus 4th-gen aircraft to bridge the gap until the AMCA is operational. Swipe left for next video. Dinkar Perry, talking on the way out, says the real crisis in the IAF today is shortage of fighters, 4th gen plus, and the numbers are set to go down further. The primary focus should be on ramping up the LCA production and the MRFA that are meant to address this. Indian Air Force currently operates 3,031 squadrons against a sanctioned strength of 42.5 squadrons. While there were expectations that the LCA MK1A and MK2 would help bridge this gap, delays in their delivery have hindered progress. With adversaries like China and Pakistan accelerating their aircraft production and inductions, the geopolitical scenario pushes the urgency to address this shortfall, which experts believe is very important to focus on. Latest blogs.